On July 19, 2022, at this point, he had retired from being Assistant Secretary of the Navy, and actually, they believe it was during the Boy Scout journey. Everyone knows what Pawn Stars is about on the History Channel, unless they've been living under a rock. With over a decade of broadcast, the show has achieved not just global recognition and tremendous popularity, but also considerable financial benefits for its cast, transforming them into reality TV stars. That's why everyone was perplexed when longtime cast member and literary specialist Rebecca Romney abruptly quit appearing on the show, leaving fans wondering what happened to her. So, why did Rebecca Romney depart and where is she now? Would she let go? Stay tuned to find out what really happened with this famous Pawn Stars expert. Anyone who has seen every episode of Pawn Stars knows the name Rebecca Romney as one of the few female experts to appear on the show. She made a lasting impression with her thorough evaluations of rare and unusual books, which garnered her praise for her meticulousness, intelligence, and thoughtful approach. Although Rebecca Angelina Ned is her given name, she is very private about her family and birthplace, choosing not to divulge these facts to the world. The good news is that we can fill in the gaps in Rebecca's fascinating story thanks to the wealth of information we have on her career trajectory. The intriguing and illuminating path that Rebecca Romney took to become an authority on antique books reveals her commitment to her profession. She had a degree in classical studies and linguistics, but it had nothing to do with her future profession. The 2007 appointment to the esteemed Bomb and Rare Books team was a result of a fortunate turn of events in which she happened to be in the ideal location at the right moment. It would be reasonable to think that her education had sufficiently equipped her for the position, but that was not totally true. Rebecca knew she needed to immerse herself in the subject even after she got her job at Bombman if she wanted to be a real expert. She voluntarily enrolled in a rare book school, demonstrating skill in numerous genres of antique and ancient literature. This choice was foundational to her professional advancement. It paved the way for her to go from salesperson to gallery manager to senior director of the company, all in an astonishingly short amount of time. Pawn Stars viewers will never forget Rebecca Romney for her one-of-a-kind performance. She was visually and intellectually distinct from the shop's regulars and other specialists. In 2011, during the 4th season of Pawn Stars, she made her television debut. After that, she became a staple on the show as a featured expert in her profession, captivating audiences until her final appearance in 2014. But her responsibilities didn't stop at determining how much ancient books were worth at the pawn shop. With her extensive background in rare papers and manuscripts, Rebecca enhanced the show's dynamism with her depth of knowledge. She was indispensable to the Pawn Stars experience thanks to her unique specialty. The indisputable mastery with which Rebecca Romney assessed works of literature from the 15th to the 20th centuries was on full display during her time as a series regular. But because reality TV can be so deceitful, many people wonder if her appearances on Pawn Stars were real or contrived. Thankfully, Rebecca has spoken frankly about her time on the program and even addressed skeptics' concerns about the show's veracity. In a Reddit Q&A, she explained that every time Pawn Stars requested her to be part of the show, the circumstances seemed real. According to Rebecca, the show differed significantly from actual assessments in one important respect. She was always briefed on the item she was about to evaluate in advance. With this heads-up, she could check the item's history and condition to make sure her valuation was not just an educated guess but rather based on solid evidence. So long as the evaluations were accurate and well-informed, the show could pass for real. While appearing on Pawn Stars, Rebecca Romney had the chance to evaluate a wide range of literary artifacts, some of which stood out due to their historical relevance or lack thereof. In the latter category, there's a notable review of an old Walden book by Henry David Thoreau. A customer, hoping for a good return on their investment, brought this book to the pawn shop. The book in question was a first edition, which is frequently quite valuable among collectors, and their optimism sprang from that fact. But Rebecca Romney's knowledge came into play when, after a thorough inspection, she valued the book at just about $100. Even though it was a first edition, the edition was produced in England, which affected its total worth. Hence, the lower valuation. In the pawn shop world, not everything that enters is a priceless gem. When customers learn that their treasured possessions aren't worth as much as they had anticipated, some sellers get quite downhearted and decide to leave the store. In an episode called Zudo, for example, a guy named John presented an autographed copy of Richard Nixon's memoirs. John was hoping for a lot from this historical artifact, but according to Rebecca Romney's estimate, it was only worth about $200 since it was a second edition. The fact that not even Nixon's autograph could raise its value much in this instance demonstrates how edition and condition are two of the most important variables when estimating the price of collectibles. On the other hand, there have been shows when sellers made a killing off of what seemed like a simple book. An example of a book that collectors will pay a big penny for is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. The pawn shop once paid $5,500 for a rare edition of the book. Also, a rare book by Friedrich Wilhelm von Steuben, written in 1779, was the subject of an extraordinary evaluation. This historical jewel was appraised at an astonishing $888,000 by Rebecca Romney. Despite the astounding nature of these figures, Rebecca has admitted that the worth of books she has assessed in her business has surpassed $100,000. As Rebecca Romney's leave from Pawn Stars was shrouded in mystery, it signaled the end of an era for the show's loyal viewers. Her final episode appearance was in 2014's Field Trip, which was part of the 9th season. Given her apparent popularity with the show's viewers, her abrupt departure inevitably left many mysteries unsolved. The total absence of justification for Rebecca's departure was among the most puzzling components. Neither she nor anyone from the Pawn Stars production team explained why she was let go from the show. Many admirers were already curious about the circumstances of her departure, and the lack of information only made their interest grow. Many fan hypotheses circulated due to the lack of actual fact. Some thought she'd been fired from the program, while others questioned whether she had problems with the other cast members. Fans of Pawn Stars are still wondering why Rebecca Romney left the show, and the real reason for her departure is still a mystery. Although no one from Pawn Stars ever made a formal announcement about Rebecca Romney leaving the company, we may still piece together clues and speculate as to why she left. It would appear that Rebecca's departure from the program was closely tied to her transition from her job at Bombman Rare Books in Las Vegas to a role at the Philadelphia branch of the same firm. She probably couldn't keep filming for the show after this transfer because of the huge distance involved. Looking at her LinkedIn page, which details her employment history, and seeing how the dates match up with the probable cause for her leave lends credence to this argument. Fans who have reached out are understandably curious about Rebecca's present status in regard to the Pawn Stars group. Nevertheless, this part is still up in the air. Although her real-life acquaintance with Rick Harrison is well known, there's been no news of her or him being seen in public recently, nor has anybody mentioned that they are still friends or interacting. Viewers of Pawn Stars are still left in the dark about how Rebecca's relationship with the ensemble has developed. Rebecca Romney's job advancement was certainly merited, as it is not easy to get a promotion to a more senior and maybe more lucrative position inside an organization. She was really responsible for a lot at Bombman Rare Books as a senior director, reporting directly to Natalie Bman, the co-founder of the firm. A broad variety of tasks were part of Becca's work description. In addition to her work as HR manager, she was instrumental in launching the company's research initiatives, crafting its marketing strategy, and guiding its acquisitions. Before making a major career change in 2016, Rebecca was a senior director at Bombman Rare Book. She quit her job at Bombman to become a rare book dealer at Honey and Wax in Brooklyn. She appeared to have found the ideal career move to satisfy her love of rare books. In late 2018, she wrote an online essay presenting some of her favorite books that the firm had sold that year, clearly showing her passion for her new job. Notable products included the Nigerian periodical Black Orris and a French version of his Wars Extraordinaires by Edgar Allan Poe. A watershed moment in Rebecca Romney's career came when she left Bombman. Even now, nobody knows why she made this decision. Keep in mind that she departed from Honey and Wax booksellers in the middle of 2019. Here, the reason for her leaving is more obvious. She wanted to devote herself entirely to starting and running her own rare book company. This bold business move demonstrates her commitment to the rare book market and her ambition to carve out a special niche for herself. A major professional move was made by Rebecca Romney because of her enthusiasm for rare books and her commitment to the industry. She now makes her home in Washington, D.C., where she established TYP Punch Matrix, a rare book business. Her company's objective is to carve out a special and forward-thinking niche in the rare book market, reflected in its dedication to social responsibility and diversity and inclusion initiatives.